Hey guys, my name's Shelby. Today I want to talk to you guys about Annie on My Mind by Nancy Garden. So this is an older book. It is from 1982, and it's kind of notable for one of being one of the earliest YA books to feature a lesbian main character. There are a couple earlier books that have lesbian and gay main characters, but it was still kind of a milestone. So this book is about two girls, right? So there's Annie, and then there's the narrator Liza, who just meet in a museum, and they connect really well almost immediately. And at first it's just like a friendship, right? And they're just getting to know each other, right? And then kind of over time that friendships develops into something romantic. And that's new for both of them. So they're kind of exploring their emotions and their sexuality. And the main conflict in the book is this tension between the way that they view their own relationship as being this really like pure and wholesome and romantic thing, and the way that other people view it, right, as kind of dirty or even immoral, right? Because we still have like homophobia and stuff today, right? But it was a lot worse 40 years ago. So they're dealing with societal homophobia, and they're also dealing with internalized homophobia, and kind of their own doubts about whether this is the right thing to do, or whether they're especially Annie has a lot of doubts about whether she's like making Liza gay, right? Because Annie already, she's done gay stuff before, right? But this is all really new to Liza. And one of the things that Liza realizes over the course of the novel is that you can't actually make somebody gay, right? You're either gay or you're not, and Annie made her realize she was gay, right? And she views that as a good thing, right? So there's this homophobia, and then in the second part of the novel, they get outed, and basically like the worst possible circumstances you can get outed in, in flagrante delicto at one of Liza's teacher's house, and her teachers are also lesbians, apparently. So and the second half of the novel is really dealing with the fallout from that, and kind of the drastic relationship changes that Liza has with her family and with her classmates, and especially with the school administration, who suspend her and try to expel her, right? But she's okay, right? She doesn't get expelled, and at the end of the novel, she and Annie are still together, right? So it has a happy ending, and that's really great. So this book is, it's a romance, and it's not really prurient, I would say, right? Like, so it's, it's kind of obvious from the narration that the characters have sex, right? So there's that, but that's not really the focus of the narrative, right? The focus is on the emotions that the characters feel and the self-realizations that they have. And I think that these themes of, discovering your emotions, and discovering yourself are really strong, and that you don't have to be gay to relate to them, but I think it helps, although I am a little biased in that regard, right? So, and another thing worth noting is that, at least personally, I sometimes have the perception that isn't really true, but it's something that I have to kind of get over mentally, is that older books tend to be a little bit stuffy and a little bit slower paced, right? So you think about like really old novels by like Jane Austen or Alexander Dumas, or even stuff from like the 60s, right? Like like say, let me think it right, like Ernest Hemingway, maybe like The Old Man and the Sea, right? As being kind of slow paced and not really exciting. But I don't think that this book has that problem at all, right? It has a kind of a fresh, very intelligent and insightful narrator, and I ended up reading it basically in a day, right? Which is not uncommon for me, but it's worth remarking on, right? Yeah. So that's what I have to say about the novel. I hope you'll read it. I think that it's worth reading, or I think that it is a book that everybody should read. Um, if not because they'll relate to the characters and the plot, then at least because it's very historically significant in the development of young adult literature, basically. Yeah. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.